You suck, your business sucks, and you'll never be successful. How many people paid you $5 grand? You ever lied to anybody? Okay, real quick. Anything you see in here? It's over, bro. What's your belief system? You're married, yes, to a woman, or you let your wife wear pants? When I ask you for something and you don't give it to me, are you knowing that you're lying to me?
Lying?
You cannot move being this comfortable. But you be in the crib and your drawers just like, hey, yo. My job is to make you fail. My job is to make you quit. My job is to make you cry. But if you survive it, success is on the other side. What's up? Another edition of Hot Seat, man. Listen, I joke around a lot. I mean a lot. And I roast people in the hot seat all the time. And we're having a good time. But today's episode is no laughing matter. I've never met someone who wanted to unalive themselves and attempted to do it over and over again until they were successful. And thank God he wasn't successful in his journey. But I really want y'all to listen to this story because I think it's going to be helpful. Of course, on the entrepreneurial side, I'm talking about business stuff, but I think this is an opportunity for us to check on our loved ones. I think it's an opportunity for us to really check on ourselves. Check on that strong friend, man. We just throw it off and say, oh, that person just like that. That person just, they always act like this. And it's more serious than that. So this is not a joking episode. This is really, really important. And this is the one we want to share. Again, as always, we do our best to create a community in the chat. So I want to see what you're feeling as you watch it in real time. So if you're watching the episode, I want you to comment how you're feeling at the point where someone says something and it resonates with you. Or if you see somebody else comment, I want you to reply to their comment. I want to build a community in the chat below because I'm all about connectivity and sharing our ideas with each other. So I want to know, especially if you had any experiences or you know somebody who had an experience, I need to see that in the chat below. So listen, I love y'all. Thank y'all so much for the support, for supporting the channel, and let's get into it. What's up, man?
Hey, how's it going, man?
Welcome to the Hot Seat.
Man, thank you for having me.
No, thanks for coming, man. Without you, I wouldn't have a show. So feel good about this.
Let's see how it goes.
We're gonna see. Okay,
I've been watching you. So
have you? What have you seen?
I've seen several episodes.
What's your favorite?
The one, it was a great idea, but when you broke down logistically, like, you know what, a lot of creators, we don't think about the logistics of our crazy ideas. It seems to be great ideas, but the lunch guy.
Oh yeah, that was a terrible idea.
It was a great thought.
No, it was a bad idea.
That's why you're here. That's why you're the man of the show.
Yeah, bad idea. Well, you know what? I don't know because I don't know how it's going because he might be killing it. I'm gonna do a follow-up.
You should.
I'm gonna do a follow-up with him to see how it's going, to see if I was right or not.
I'm interested to know myself, honestly.
Yeah, because if he's doing something else, if he's doing like credit repair now, that means it didn't work.
Yeah.
That's normally where people go when their businesses don't
But he
work.
started at the airport, though. I saw that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I'm saying when people start switching to another business, they always go to credit repair.
Thought about that.
Y'all ever notice that?
That is true.
Yeah. When your original business ain't work, I'm fixing your credit.
Get your little PPP loan.
Oh,
no,
bro. Shouts out to all my credit repair friends. All right, let's get to it. Vonzail, right?
Vonzail, yes,
Vonzail.
Sir. Yes, sir.
So what do you do?
So what I do just outside of my foundation or just about the foundation?
Well, I don't know.
Okay, well, by profession, I'm a luxury event designer, work in production, but right now I am focusing on, I'm the voice of suicide.
By day, you are a luxury event designer.
Exactly.
What do you do there?
So I create events for clientele, specializing in florals, structures, parties, weddings, anniversaries, so event designer.
So a company hires you to go out and do the...
With clients. I don't work for an actual company. Started my own company called Lvo Creative, which I have clientele who, from birthday parties to weddings.
So this is your company?
Yeah, it's my company.
Okay. Yes. So it's like you have a business and a nonprofit. Your business is luxury event design.
Exactly.
And then your nonprofit is your voice of suicide.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Deep topic, bro.
It is. It's real deep.
Before we get into that, though, I just want to know about the luxury event Design, right? Okay.
Yeah.
How long you been doing it?
So I've been doing design honestly all my life. You know, I come from a first family in the church, and so growing up with my grandmothers, you know, anytime people in the church get married, you know, the grandmother who was the pastor's wife she's everybody's wedding coordinator, and so just you know learning under my grandmother, and then I come from a family with grandmothers. They love design, so whether interior decorating, so I've always taken to interior design, and then.
I'm sorry, how long have you been doing the business though?
Oh, the business since 2019.
2019. So right before COVID.
Right before COVID. I started my business.
Nice. Why did you start the business?
Started the business honestly, because before the business I was working for BET. So that's when I kind of started doing events like after parties for BET. Then went to Radio One. So I was always in the event arena, and so just got tired of just wanting more. You know, working for entities is good, but just I've always had an entrepreneur mindset. Just wanting to start my own thing, and I built great relationships while I was at BET and Radio One. So when I transitioned to Atlanta, with those relationships, with different celebrities who knew I was doing design, like instead of doing it for BET, hey, do it for myself. So
the nonprofit. Did you start that within the last 2 years?
Well, actually, it's on paper, yes. On paper, yes, but it's something that I've been sitting on for the past 10 years. As far as the name and the idea, because I'm the Voice of Suicide actually was birthed out of my last suicide attempt.
Dang. But when you when did you start the nonprofit?
So actually, it's not. I just got it registered. I'm working on getting it to be a nonprofit as we speak.
It's not a nonprofit.
Not as of right now. No.
You just registered. So right now it's an registered LLC. I would imagine.
No, just trademark. It's a trademark.
What's the trademark?
I'm the Voice of Suicide.
Those words are trademark.
It's trademark.
The words or the logo, or is it?
No, the words, because I don't have a logo neither. So it's just the words right now.
I'm the Voice of Suicide.
I'm the Voice of Suicide.
Got it. And when did you start that?
May of
23 or 24?
No, May of 24. So this past May, it's been registered.
Got you. The luxury event design. What was the revenue your first year? Do you know?
No, I do not.
2020?
I'll be honest. The numbers I'm horrible with.
2021 maybe? You know what you did last year?
Honestly, do not know. It hasn't been. It's been more. Even though it's LLC.
This year?
I promise you, I don't know.
You have no idea.
I have no idea.
You have employees?
Me, myself, my wife helps out, and then I hire day of help. But I don't have like a full operation. Like I'm an assistant, admin.
I'm sorry. She works for the company too?
Yeah, she does work for the company.
Does she work a job as well?
Yes.
Yeah. Who makes more money between y'all?
I do.
In the business?
Well, I'm also a military veteran. So the bulk of my income, honestly, is military disability. I'm an Iraq. I'm an Iraq veteran. And so
you have no idea how much money your business makes at all?
Honestly, no.
You never thought to look at it?
When I filed taxes last year, looked at it.
You did file taxes?
I did file taxes.
And what did it say?
It was like, I think it was like $13,000, if that.
Last year?
$14,000 last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
what about the year before that? Do you remember?
The year before that, it's been averaging about 10,000, 10, 12, 15,000.
They don't really make much money. You don't make much money in that business.
Not at all. Not at all.
What makes your event company luxury?
What makes it luxury is just I'm very passionate about it, and I look at it as ministry. And so
I'm sorry, real quick. What makes it luxury though?
Oh, my skill set. The skill set and then the clientele that I attract.
The clientele makes it luxury.
Mm-hmm. But also the service that I provide.
All right, I'm gonna leave that alone because I'm really disappointed that you have no idea how much money you make in your business. So, which means you're not gonna be able to grow it because you don't know what growth means. And the reason I knew that this nonprofit started within the last year or so is because typically, and this might not even be your story, but typically, if someone started a business in 2019, they experienced some really big growth in 2020 and 21. It starts to like decline, 22, decline even more, 23. It's like, well, I got to do something. And then we have another idea to do something else, which is the nonprofit. But you've been wanting to do this for the last 10 years.
So
it's not a new idea.
It's not a new idea. But I think,
if that luxury event design company was making money, you may not be starting this nonprofit.
No, I disagree. I disagree.
I don't.
I disagree.
I don't think so. You know why I'm saying that though?
No, why are you saying that?
Because when things are going well, we focus on the thing that's going well. When things aren't going well, we think about all the stuff that we could do that could possibly go well. And when we're not making money, we go into passion. Like, man, you know what? I don't even feel passionate about this event anymore.
Yeah. I agree with that, but I have to challenge you for a second.
Okay.
Because that is in most case-based scenarios. And people who know me, my wife can tell you, and just even with the event planning design, I never went into it because for money. And I'll just be completely honest. I'm at a very blessed place in life. If I never work another job, or if I never make money outside of my military income, I live comfortably. And so the event planning business didn't start to make money. It's just I just love to do production. I love to do events. I've done multiple events for free. Like just last year, did a wedding for free, just because I love to do it. And so it wasn't until I started working alongside other event planners here in the city of Atlanta, and it seemed like I understand everybody do stuff for money, but I'm not, never really been a money-driven person. I honestly did it just for the love of it, for the exposure and for the networking purposes. Even for the clout, like I have a lot of celebrity clout-worthy clients that I don't even post about, and have to one of the main reasons why I haven't really made a lot of money. My wife would tell you I have a hard time charging. I'm that event planner where
I'm sorry, you have a hard time charging, or you don't want to charge?
I have a hard time charging.
But you do want to charge?
I would like to, but
why do you want to charge?
I mean, we still have to survive. I mean,
you get
tired of doing stuff for free. Yeah.
The reason you're not making money is because you're at a blessed place in your life and you do it for the love. So you can't tell me you do it for the love and now you want to make money. If you do it for the love, you should just do it for the love and just play people.
Just haven't taken it serious, honestly. My business has failed because I have not really taken it serious. I haven't been aggressive in my approach, looking for clientele.
I like the fact that we got to get off on a good foot if you're not lying to me anymore.
Yeah, I'm not lying.
You're lying to me. When you say, I don't do it for the money. Well, we have this idea. We started. We come up with this logo. We get this business going. Because in our mind, we think we're going to make money at it. I'm not saying money's your driving motivation, but if you're going to be the voice of suicide, you don't think to reach more people, money would amplify your message?
Oh, it definitely will. It definitely will.
Which means
because resources.
Just do me a favor. Just don't lie to me anymore.
Yes.
Today.
Okay, I got you.
Okay?
I got you.
So your event planning business, you would love for it to make money. It would be dope.
Oh, yeah. It would be dope.
Yeah. How much do event planners make, like for a high-profile wedding?
They can, starting about $15,000, just their fee.
Ooh, 15 grand.
For weddings.
Just the fee.
Just the event planning fee, depending on, you have some event planners who are all inclusive. They are the designer or they're just planning. I've kind of fallen to both because it is just me, but the planning side is more my weakness. I'm a straight creative. So design concepts all day long. My client can come to me and say, hey, Vonzail, I want to have a circus theme party for my 5-year-old daughter. Yeah. And I'll have crazy ideas and, concepts and things. But when it comes to the business side of it, planning, emailing, invoicing, contacting vendors, I kind of struggle in the overall daily operations of a business.
I know it.
Yeah.
I already know your kind. I met you 1,000 times before. You know what I mean? The issue with creators is creatives have convinced themselves that they don't do it for money because they can't do it for money. They don't know how to do it for money. But if they were able to do it for money and be creative, wouldn't that be wonderful?
Mm-hmm.
But we start to lean on, well, I don't do it for money, instead of strengthening our weaknesses and actually figuring out how to charge. This hot seat episode is incredible, okay? But I know what you're thinking. Yo, David is talking to me. You know why? Because you need more information, you need more support, and you need more money. But until you get the information that you need and until you get the support, it's gonna be almost impossible to make more money. That's why we created the Morning Meetup. The Morning Meetup is the only community that gathers every single day. Now, I know what you're thinking. David, I can't be on a call every single day. You don't have to. You can pick which day you want to be on. Thursdays, we do Q&A. Monday through Wednesday, just straight information. Friday, it's just a community day. But you need to have access to the #1 entrepreneurial community in the world for those who make under $250,000. Listen, you've been forgot about. Everybody's talking about how to make millions and how to make billions, but that's not what we're on right now. I want to teach you how to make an extra $1,000 a month. I want to teach you how to make an extra $4,000 a month that can really take care of some things. But as you're building as an entrepreneur, there's so much you don't know. But I want to give you access to me every single morning, if you choose, okay? So for $497 for the entire year, you can meet up with me every single morning. We do physical meetups. We have a book club that we discuss a book every single day. We read 1 to 2 books every single month, and we take it step by step. Listen, you're struggling as an entrepreneur, and you need a community, and you need a coach, and I'm gonna give you both, okay? And quiet as kept, most of the people that are on the podcast for Hot Seat, they're actually coming from the community. They get first dibs on everything I do. So if you wanna be connected to me in any way, the first step is to join the Morning Meetup right now. Go to themorningmeetup.com. If the stuff that I'm talking about in this episode resonates with you, you need to enroll right now. So click the link below. It's in the description somewhere, and go to themorningmeetup.com. Let's get back to the interview. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna give you a little tip, then we're gonna get into the suicide thing, okay? What I'd like for you to do is talk to your clients about their budget. Mm-hmm. Okay? Ask them, what's your budget? Do you ask that question?
I do.
Okay, cool. Ask them what their budget is. That's an important question up front, because you can get a gazebo and you can get all this stuff, and if they don't got the budget for it, it's just your creative ideas and you can't do it. And they're like, yo, I really just need a room and some balloons, because that's the budget. And then you can decide whether you want to do it or not, right? But if you start with a budget, some people might say, my budget is $40,000 for this wedding. Out of that $40,000, you need to figure out what your fee is, which would be what? If their budget is $40,000, what will be your fee?
Well, I should probably be charging anywhere between 15 to 20% planning and design fee.
I like that. So let's say 20%, meaning if they spend $40,000, you will get $8,000.
$8,000.
But if they go all out, $100,000 wedding, you get a 20 piece.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
It would be.
Yeah.
But I'll be. So I have.
Don't lie to me again.
I'm not. I have a high profile client who's getting married coming up this year, and for the first time, I will be walking away from this client and from this wedding with what I should be making from almost every client.
Yeah.
But I don't want to say the passion is not there for design. And this is why I said, I wasn't necessarily doing it for the money, because I know there's opportunity for money, especially with the clientele that I have and the resume that I have. If I really wanted to invest in my business, I could attract a lot of money. But the passion for designing has been kind of fading away, only because I feel like I am not doing purpose. I literally woke up one day and I finally got a client of my dreams. Whereas this wedding that I'm doing coming up in March is going to be televised. I've told my wife, after this wedding, it's going to be my last wedding. I want to walk away from event. And I'm like, but in this season, my business is about to be exposed to millions of viewers. And I'm even struggling. I'm only doing this wedding because of somebody that it's not only a client, but it's like somebody I really care about, outside of client, relationship. I really, feel like I woke up one day like event design is my gift. I'm talented. I'm even anointed, with design, but I didn't feel fulfilled no more. I started slacking.
Here's the reason you don't feel fulfilled. I'm telling you, bro, it's something you're afraid of. You're afraid.
That's
You
familiar.
being exposed to this many people means that you have to like run an actual business. And I think you're just afraid to run a business. If you knew how to run a business, you could handle all these clients that's gonna come your way, and you knew how to charge. Like sometimes us being apprehensive to make money is because we fear that moment where they ask this question of how much it's going to charge. And then the anxiety and the bubble guts start. And it's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you're asking me this question. And if you made $1 million a year from design services and you could be creative and have your team go do it, like, okay, this is the vision, this is how we're gonna do it. And you can hire some people to do it. And like these people are having these amazing weddings and you making $30,000, $40,000, $20,000 per wedding that you don't even gotta do anymore, you would absolutely be in love with it because you've been doing it since you were a little boy. And you can remember your grandma putting stuff together and you like it.
I'm with you when you're right.
No, I know. Twice you lied to me. Twice.
Oh, sir, no.
But I just know you. It's not your fault. I just know you. Okay. So at some point, I think you should just man up and accept that this is the thing that you're amazing at, that you're gifted at, and just stop running from the business side. Easy question. What's your budget? Cool. My fee is 20% of whatever your budget is. So I don't know what you want to spend. I don't know how big you want your business to, your wedding to go. If you want this elaborate $400,000 wedding, I need my 80 grand. But it's just baked into the cost, 20%. If these balloons cost $10, well, they're actually gonna cost you 12. Because it's my vision, design, all I got. And guess what? People will be comfortable with that.
And that's why, I'm sorry. And that's where I feel that. You said something very key. I've also felt, like I said, when I said I have a hard time charging. So I'm one of those designers, if the client give me a budget and I spend $5,000 just on florals, in the event planning world, it's a 3-time markup. So $5,000 purchasing florals should cost the client $15,000. I don't do that.
And you don't have to. You don't have to. You don't have to be greedy. You don't have to be, because you're already struggling with it. Hey, look, I'm not about to mark up none of the stuff that you said. If them chairs are $3 each, you're going to pay $3 plus my 20%. Easy to calculate. Easy conversation in the very beginning. 20% of whatever you spend. So if you go in low budget, you only got $10,000 for this whole thing, including catering and all that kind of stuff, I'll find a little. You might have to go to Popeyes. We're going to go to Popeyes, get the chicken, biscuits. We're going to put them on plates real nice, though. But whatever Popeyes charge is just 20% for me to go get it and design it and all that kind of stuff. It's an easy conversation. So they know you are going to pay exactly. I'm not going to, and that might be one of your selling points. I'm not going to upcharge you on anything. So if it's $10 a table, you're going to pay $10. It's just 20% on top of whatever we pay because I'm managing it. And they'll look at me just how they're looking at you're looking at me like that. Like, oh, okay, cool. Makes sense. You're not going to go, I'll show you the receipt. I'm not going to upcharge you. Most people will, but I won't. How much is a wedding? How much y'all spend for your wedding?
Our wedding, about $25,000.
$25,000. 20% of $25,000, quick little $5,000. It wasn't too elaborate, right?
Honestly, it was very simple but elegant. Yeah.
$5,000.
Yeah.
For a simple, elegant wedding.
Yeah.
People pay that.
They do.
You do 2 of those a year, you'll start making more than you've made all 5 years of doing this business.
Yeah.
But you're letting a conversation about numbers stand in the way of you. And I know you make money, but your wife deserves some other stuff too.
Yeah, she does.
You deserve a trip more regularly. I'm talking about one of them fancy trips where we I have all the stops. The little hot stone. You ever had the little hot stones?
Actually,
You
for a
ever did that?
honeymoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, once.
Once? How long have you been married?
For 5 years.
Oh, bro, you owe her at least 10 more. 2 a year. She need hot stones.
Okay. 2.
But the reason she got the hot stones on her back is because you're afraid of this one conversation. And we're going to fix it. 20% of whatever you spend. So you get to decide what you pay me.
Okay.
Them cakes are cakes, right?
Yeah.
$1,000, $2,000? If somebody, say it again.
That's a low end.
Low end. If somebody gets a $2,000 cake, the fact that they want a $2,000 cake,
it's crazy.
That means you make $400. I want your wedding to be as nice as possible. Because I get 20% of that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nodding. Listen, I'm telling you, bro.
And that's what people don't understand. Like when we do events, it's man hours 100%. And hours of months of prepping for your wedding.
That's what I'm saying.
Researching designs, going from showroom to showroom, driving in that's gas, and then the day of, loading up semi-trucks, unloading the truck,
100%.
Getting to the venue 10 to 12 hours before the event starts, the setup.
And guess what? You got to pay all them guys that.
I have to pay all those guys.
But you don't pay all them guys that. Who pays?
The client should be.
The client
but I
will. The client will. Because you go over it. Okay, here's how we get this cake safely to this venue. We got to get this particular person to go pick up the cake and place it, all that kind of stuff. This person charges, it's going to be $300 delivery. You just got to pay the $300 plus what?
Labor.
No, 20%.
20%.
You pay the guys.
Yeah.
Hey, look, the venue is going to charge you an extra day because they got to set up at night. The venue is going to charge an extra $4,000 for that extra evening. And then all the guys and women that got to come in here from the team, you got to pay them. I'm not upcharging, but that $4,000 for that room, I need my 20%. The payroll for all that stuff, you pay them directly, no problem. My 20% is on top of that. At the end of it, you spend $300,000. I need my 60. And throughout the months, they make them payments. Okay, this is what we did in the last month or so. This is how much we spent. This is my fee. Let's keep going. But your wife don't get them hot stones on her back twice a year because you're scared to charge people money. You understand?
Yes, I do.
So let's stop acting like we don't want money and it's not a driving force. There's some things you want out of life.
Yeah.
And once you realize that you want them and then you deserve them, you'll stop making excuses for why you're not going to get the money. You understand?
Yes, that's good.
And if you was making $1 million from this business, I don't know if and I think you probably still be talking about suicide and things of that nature, but we got to grow this business and you can go help people and go speak and all that kind of stuff because you went from a victim of suicide to look what I've done.
Yeah.
That's a stronger story for somebody that's going through it. Not just, oh my gosh, I was cutting myself. You was cutting yourself too? No. Oh man, we was cutting ourselves. Don't cut yourself no more. That's not the story. The story is, hey, I remember being this low. I got a multi-million-dollar luxury event design company. I went from this to that, and now I'm taking the resources from this business I built. First, let's shake out of the fact that you don't want to make money, because you do. Okay. This suicide business, is it growing?
It's only, I would say yes. Since May, I've already done a full production. That was a huge success. Did the ad campaign. So I honestly can say I've probably done more just in marketing, promoting, and being productive in I'm the Voice of Suicide since May than I have in the past 7 years with Lvo Creative.
What's the goal of what's the goal of the business, I'm the Voice of Suicide?
So the goal for I'm the Voice of Suicide is to honestly, like I said, become a 501c3 so that I can throw more events to bring awareness and prevention for suicide.
Why aren't you a 501c3?
I'm in the process of doing that now.
Well, what took so long to?
What took so long?
Yeah, I mean, because when you had the idea, you knew it was going to be a nonprofit, right?
Mm-hmm.
But why didn't you file at that time?
Honestly, not wanting to talk about it. I haven't been through counseling. I just started counseling probably last year. For the past year, been going through intense counseling and therapy. Whereas before, I was more so embarrassed.
I'm sorry, real quick. So you're the voice of suicide, but you're not like healed yourself. You're still struggling yourself.
I wouldn't say that. No, not struggling with
You said you didn't
suicide.
start. You
Yeah.
didn't start as a nonprofit because you didn't want to talk about it, and you're still going through therapy.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
Yeah, you never stop going to therapy.
Yeah, but I'm saying you seem unsure. Like I didn't make it a. My question was, why didn't you start a Why didn't you start it as a nonprofit? And you started telling me about almost like you weren't ready to be that voice.
Yeah, just running away from your calling. 'Cause I know that being the voice of suicide, you have to use your voice, and that's one thing that I struggle with.
For sure.
Is using my voice. I was telling your producer, I've always been used to being the creative behind the cameras, working with talent, and so I'm always the guy that's in the room that probably has the most to say, but is the quietest. And so I really do struggle. Well, I did struggle with being in the forefront and being vulnerable because, talking about 4 suicide attempts is very vulnerable. It does take you, back to a place. And so,
dang, you tried 4 times?
Yeah, 4 suicide attempts.
How old were you at the first time?
The first one, it was all in my 20s.
What happened on the first one?
The first one was pills. I took a handful of my antidepressants and drank a cup of bleach.
What? Why you do that?
I was in the military. Went through a very heartbreaking breakup with a fiance. Was in the process.
Something else, bro.
Yeah. Huh?
The women, something else.
I mean,
Hey, you were in love.
Yeah, I was in love. This high school sweetheart love.
Yeah.
Like my best friends type love, And so that was my first
handful of pills
and
a cup of bleach.
Yeah, cup of bleach, and it messed me up pretty bad. Like honestly, this is a living testimony right here. To the point, up until matter of fact, 6 months ago, I had to go to the hospital. Well, I go to the VA on a regular. They check like my levels, and there was some damage that was done to some organs, and so 6 months ago, I went to my VA appointment. They said, Von, that's like, yo, Lawrence, your levels are really great. Yeah, I should not be in the position I am right now.
Golly. Second time, what happened?
Second time I was in Iraq. I don't really talk about that one much, but I was in Iraq. And it involved putting a barrel to my mouth and pulling the trigger. And the bullet getting lodged in the barrel.
Why?
And a sergeant waking up in the midst, seeing me in the act, witnessed it. And so, yeah.
Why did you attempt it that time? Was it the same situation?
No, in that situation, I was dealing with a lot of harassment in the military from leadership. I've always been the more, I don't like to use the word though, but more quiet, reserved, but timid person. Not timid, but I come off timid,
Yeah.
And so I dealt with a lot of leadership picking with me in the military because I was just what people think is weak. I pulled back a lot because I just know my anger was really, really bad. And so dealing with anger all my life, from childhood trauma, dealing with, stepfather and dealing with family, dealing with bullies. Then as a grown man, you're in the military, dealing with bullies from leadership. And then I was a 28-year-old virgin and I was raped. So I lost my virginity to a man through rape. And so just being angry and wondering like, God, how come I can never defend myself? Like, why do I allow people to continue to bully me? I dealt with the stepfather who bullied me all my life to now, even though my sergeants in leadership, they weren't my fathers, but, as a young man who really never had a positive male figure, All I wanted was a positive male figure. When I got around other men in position, that same type of bullying spirit, the same type of treatment I got from a stepfather who was abusive was the same type of treatment I got from pastors, the same type of treatment I got from sergeants and commanders. And so just really hating myself. Like I started hating who Vonzail was becoming because I just would not defend myself in life. So that kind of aided to the suicidal ideations, more so in the military. And that's one thing people don't talk about a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot of bullying that takes place with, superiors and soldiers in the military.
Hey, real quick, the first part is engage. You feel like I was bullying you?
Nah.
I want to apologize right now.
Nah, you good.
Okay, guys, I feel like I came off a little aggressive, and I want to apologize.
You good, my guy.
All right, third time. How old are you now?
I'm 43.
43. Okay, yeah. Third time.
The third time was with some friends. Some very close friends who, kind of traveled the road of me in a few episodes. And so I had a cousin.
I'm sorry?
I had a few episodes. So like family members and friends who kind of knew of my suicidal ideation periods. I had a cousin and a best friend of mine who was doing the intervention. And they seen some signs of, Vonzail is, he's starting to withdraw again. He's starting to isolate himself. So they decided, hey, let's go a little weekend getaway to the next city. So we was going to this party out of in the next city. And so I guess they thought that would be a great time to have an intervention conversation during the car ride. And felt like I was, trapped. And so, and then, you don't have an intervention with somebody you think is suicidal and they drive in the car. You don't.
Oh, you were driving?
I was driving.
Oh, yeah. No,
and so I'm sitting there like, oh, y'all trying to have this conversation really? And the conversation got really, really intense. And, arguing, we cussing, driving. And I'm just thinking to myself, I will drive this off the road. Sorry, can I cuss? I'm sorry.
No,
I'm going to say that.
Can't, but
I would drive this car off the cliff. Like that's where the conversation went. And it got very intense. One of my friends who was very, very aggressive, took it too far. And before you know it, my cousin pulled the wheel over to the side and I just got out the car. And when I jumped out the driver's seat, I was like, I'm done. And walked to the berm of the street and saw the semi truck coming. And I said, this is the time. And ran right in front of the truck, semi truck swerved. I was thrown, I guess from the wind force, whatever. I was thrown to the medium. So that was that.
My gosh, you the voice for sure. Okay, fourth time.
Fourth time was another car incident where it wasn't more so of a attempt, it was more so the ideation of just on the highway, going
You were by yourself?
By myself, going full speed. And then in my hometown, it's a highway called 315, which is, they say, one of the deadliest highways in the city. At the exit, there's an underpath, whereas the exit meets like the brick medium. And so I got on the highway with the intent to high speed on the highway, take that exit and run into the wall.
Why?
Honestly, when you choose not to deal with, your traumas and, deal with the internal battles that you're dealing with, you just want everything to stop. You just want the pain to just end. When conversation is too painful to talk about. And honestly, the only reason why most conversations are hard to have is because it's a lack of support. That's why I'm the voice of suicide is so dear, because it's like, for those who struggle in silence, there's so many people who die by suicide because they're struggling in silence. You know, you can't go to family and friends and honestly say, I'm suicidal, because you're going to get ostracized. You're going to get looked at crazy. You know, the black men in my family, their response to me ended up in the hospital was, why are you in the hospital? Why you want to kill yourself? We don't kill ourselves. Like, you tripping. That's other people's stuff, you know? And it's just like, no, it's not other people's stuff.
How long ago was that fourth one?
So the last attempt, like I said, everything's been about 10 years.
10 years?
Yeah, so 10 years.
You haven't attempted in 10 years?
Yes, yeah.
Thought about it though?
Yeah, I had so in 2017, went through a huge depression. Again, just dealing with some personal stuff, even with, you know, on the spiritual level, you know. I went on Facebook and just kind of wrote like, I'm tired, not more so a suicide, I'm going to kill myself, but more so people who know me from the past, like, okay, yeah, Vonzail's been on the high for a couple of years, and then they saw this long Facebook post. It was alarming, you know, and
I'm saying internally, you thought about it.
I thought about it, yeah.
Have you thought about it recently?
No, I haven't. Honestly,
I mean, even when things get pressure, I mean, do you?
No, I just moments where I lose hope though. But honestly, because I'm aware of the signs, like I can, when I feel myself getting like in a low space, I can recognize some of the symptoms now.
Does your wife know the signs?
Yeah, for the most part, yes, she does. Well, I guess she would have to answer that.
I mean, have you had that conversation? Like, yo, these are the signs?
We've had it briefly. Yeah.
Okay.
She said I isolate, or I get real reserved, quiet to myself, and then my conversation is I lose sense of hope.
Yeah.
So, but as far as an attempt, honestly, 2017 was the last time I really had a true suicidal ideation, and that's because a cousin who talked me out of that suicide attempt ended her life 2 weeks later.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and so honestly, Tierra, that's when I said, you know what? Yeah, I have to start dealing with this. And so it's been since 2017 I started my healing, going through some counseling, but for the past year I've been more intentional and consistent with counseling.
Okay. All right. So what's the ultimate goal of this business?
So the ultimate goal for I'm the Voice of Suicide is to be a foundation to bring forth awareness, and also prevention, and throw more events like I did back in May, where we address suicide, the stigmas of suicide through creative arts and creative performances, and also to be a voice for those who suffer in silence. But not only that, to provide resources for family members, survivors of those who died by suicide.
Yeah.
We don't really talk about that a lot. You know, there's family members, there's husbands, there's wives, there's parents that still have to go on and find a new norm. And so I'm the Voice of Suicide, is to just provide resources. Like, for instance, I had a meeting yesterday with a mental health organization. And so partnering with different organizations. So like, say if somebody do come to me that is suicidal, I can share my testimony. I can, share my platform, but also send them to a resource that is free and that is available.
I kind of got the vision of it now. And when you say you're in the phases, your steps of getting your 501c3 status, you're in already, or?
I honestly don't even know where to begin. Honestly, I've looked up how to start a 501c3, but because I do struggle with the comprehension.
So you're not in the process of like getting the status. You gotta stop lying to me, man.
What do you mean lying?
I'm thinking, okay, when you're in a process, like I'm in a process of getting a trademark, right? The trademark is filed. So we're going through the process of getting approved. But you're saying you haven't started. In terms of like started the process.
No.
Do you just call an attorney that does nonprofits?
Well, like I said, I researched on how the steps, like when I say I'm in the process, I've actively, started researching how to start a 501c3, and then also reaching out to people who specialize in helping people with. So I do have someone who said they can meet with me to get all my paperwork together, to let me know what forms I need to.
When did you meet this person?
But a couple weeks ago.
And when did you start this business, this company?
Well, I got a trademark in May.
About 6 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
So you met this person a few weeks ago.
No, I didn't meet them a few weeks ago. I mean, we had a conversation about them helping me with my 501c3.
You had a conversation a few weeks ago.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But we're still not any further along.
No.
What is the holdup? What are you afraid of? You're afraid of something. You have probably the most impactful story I've heard all year. I haven't even heard. I never talked to anybody that committed suicide, especially 4 times, real attempts too. Like, okay, there are people that like cut themselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think maybe they cut to a point where they're not gonna die, but just cut, and maybe I just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I never met anybody that drank bleach intentionally. I never met anybody that like really put a pistol in their mouth and pulled the trigger. I never met anybody. So this story is so like mind-blowing to me because I can't even attempt to relate to you and what's going on in your brain, what's going on in your heart. Somebody that's been through the sexual trauma that you've been through. I never even met anybody with all the stuff you had to deal with. I mean, talk about strength. That's strength to me. And you have an extreme talent of design and, doing a business, but you're afraid to build that. And this company, even after this interview, there's going to be some people that reach out to you and say, yo, I want to help, I want to assist, things of that nature. And there might be some people that want to donate based on this conversation. But you're not ready. But I think you're intentionally not being ready because that means you have to have some sort of responsibility. You need to tell the story. You told me earlier that this is like what feels fulfilling, but you said you're afraid to even tell people. But then you said that you're normally like kind of reserved, but I would imagine once you're around your friends, you talk. And then you're angry, which means you don't know how to talk. You got some stuff with you, but I think the biggest thing is your fear. Don't you want to help people?
I do.
You really wanted to help people, you'd have had this status and you'd be going a lot harder than what you're doing right now. Because I think you're tiptoeing into it, knowing that you are the whole voice. That's a powerful state. I am the voice of suicide, which means the people that are going through these attempts and these thoughts and these feelings and these traumatic scenarios, if they don't hear the voice, you know what happens?
It's almost like when, me and my wife talk about all the time, even when it comes to, marriage, when you're called to be the very thing that you are looking for, when you're called to the same people that you run away from, like you said, it's true. It's ironic that my whole campaign is being the voice of suicide, but I'm one person who's always been afraid to use his voice. And so literally, that's why I know it's a spiritual journey, I'm the voice of suicide. It's just that it's pulling me out of the shell and the comfort zone that I've been in. And yes, I know it's, yes, I should be further along, but it's baby steps. This is the most that I've been intentional about establishing myself and establishing my voice.
And look, it's not even establishing your voice. It's like calling the person that you talked to a few weeks ago that said they would help you.
Yeah.
If you really want to get it going, you live a comfortable life, but you ain't got enough money to really help these people that you claim you want to help.
Yeah.
Which means you really, really don't care about these people because you care more about your own comfort than being the voice that you claim to be. And that's sad. I went from working at the Cheesecake Factory to a full-time entrepreneur. And I've dedicated the last 15 years of my life to teaching entrepreneurship because I remember knowing I have a talent, knowing I have something special and I message, and hating the being so frustrated working as a server at the Cheesecake Factory, I used to have to wear all white. And this is a time when I first started to notice my hairline receding and I couldn't wear a hat at work. So I'm frustrated.
Yeah.
A day I don't get a haircut and I still got because you could see the hairline, the non-hairline growing in. It's a horrible experience. So I'm like, yo, there's some people that want to be able to wear a hat whenever they want to wear a hat.
Yeah.
So I've dedicated my life to actually teaching entrepreneurship, and it's the most fulfilling thing in the world, even though I've never been that extrovert.
I'm gonna get you a shirt, man. I'm the voice of accountability.
I need you to get a 501c3 made. Yeah. I need you to get a nonprofit status made so somebody can give you some money to do these events that you already know how to design. That's what I need you to do. But I don't know why you're so afraid, and I don't know why you're so selfish. Why you want to keep your story to yourself. And why you know that you're the only person. There are some people you can help that I can't help. Eric Thomas can't help him. Tony Robbins can't help him. Inky Johnson, any motivational speaker in the world. Obama can come to their house and talk to them, can't help them. But you can, because they can't relate to that. And the blood is on your hands because you refuse to help them by being selfish and just being comfortable. I don't really have a whole lot more to say to you because there's not even any strategy I could teach you. I can't make you call the person that said they're going to help you with the nonprofit. Because if you have a story and someone donates, I don't even need to teach you how to do an event because you do events. That's what you do professionally. I don't know what to tell you other than stop being selfish and go help these people. I can't help them. I feel so like my heart is so heavy because there's so many people that are going to be lost because you are being selfish. You're afraid to tell somebody about your business. You're afraid to pick up a phone and call somebody and say, oh, you said you could help me structure my, okay, cool.
Afraid of disappointment.
Of what?
Being let down. You know how many people I've had in my life that said they would help.
Find someone that you don't know and pay them for a service. Because then you're not letting you down. It's a contractual relationship. You're gonna get my 501c3 status, but I'm gonna pay you X amount of money. If you don't, I need my money back. You don't gotta feel anxiety about being let down. The person said he was gonna help you, tell them, I don't want your help, I'm gonna pay you. If you have a service, let me just pay. You're not afraid about being let down to go to Walmart, right? Because you get the milk, you pay for it, and you walk out with the milk. So you're not gonna be disappointed. Pay somebody to do it. What's your next issue?
There's none. No excuses.
No excuses. And you're partly responsible too, because you let him not go after it. Like the world deserves it. There needs to be some accountability from you to him, making sure his voice gets heard, his message gets out. Because there's no excuse for it. The only thing standing in between y'all and really making an impact is getting some paperwork filed, which you can just pay because you got some money coming in. The issue isn't getting an attorney to do this, right? Or somebody to do it. Is that an issue? Is there a financial?
It is a financial issue.
Told me you live a comfortable life.
Yeah. So comfortability is I make enough money off my military disability to sustain.
How much do you think it costs?
The attorney?
Yeah.
I know it can cost thousands of dollars.
How much do you think it costs?
At a minimum, $2,500 for an attorney to retain.
Well, let's just make sure it costs that before you say you can't afford it, because it might be significantly less. Because I did not pay $2,500.
Okay.
Let me see. Hold on. Let me call somebody real quick. And I think it's much more expensive in California, which is where I'm about to call to. I'll call my girl Mary. She knows this nonprofit stuff. She's really good. Really, really good. Hope she picks up. Okay, she didn't pick up. We're gonna find out, but not everybody's gonna charge you $2,500. And you might be able to go tell somebody your story who has some money, and they might just donate the service to you. I really don't have anything else to say. I really want you to understand the uniqueness of your story and the uniqueness of what you have.
Mm-hmm.
It's important. Okay? So get your status.
Yes, sir.
Start asking a bunch of people for money to throw an event, because these rich people, I'm going to tell you, one of the issues that like really wealthy people have is with their kids. Them kids, when I go to the hood and talk to schools, their issue is they ain't got no money, mom on drugs, mom and dad never home, they just out here running free, right? So they wind up selling drugs because the streets adopt them.
Mm-hmm.
Them rich kids though, they got all the money in the world, which means there's no purpose there. At least our black kids in the hood think, if I get some money and I get to drive that car that Trap Boy's driving, I'll be lit. Or they can look at a music video and say, oh, Jeezy did it, I'm gonna be like that. There's some hope there. But what about the kid that has everything? They feel like life isn't worth anything. That's one of the issues. I'm gonna connect you with somebody, okay? So
appreciate it.
I really don't have anything else to say to you. So let's just move forward. All right?
Appreciate you. Thank you.